this morning to today's morning analysis. Today is 31st of January 2025. Like I always do, so at the end of the month, I always ask us to appraise ourselves. January is gone. What was the result like in the market? Go through your books. That's why you need to have a trading journal that can show you, what trades you've taken, the ones that went well, the ones that went bad. The ones that went well, know why it went well. If you did the analysis correctly, how did you analyze? And the trades that went bad, what mistakes did you make? So that you can try to correct yourself and going forward into the new month, so you can have a better result. For many people on our platform who trade with our signals, I know a lot of people have made money this January. I've seen countless testimonials. So I believe as we go into the new month, it will surely continue also. So good morning to everyone once again. Now to the analysis. Today, there'll be German prelim CPI monthly. It's an all-day event. That means that there's no specific time allocated to it. And by 2:38 p.m. today, there's gonna be GDP from Canada, and then to same 2:30 there'll be core PCE price index from the United States, unemployment cost index from the United States, and at 3:45 p.m. today there'll be Chicago PMI. Now these are the news for today, though this morning session, but I'll just give us a little insight as regards the card because of the setup I can see on some of the Canadian dollar pairs. But for other events, that will be sorted out in the afternoon analysis session. So let's go straight to MetaTrader. Since we don't have any, okay, we have the euro. So I'll talk about the euro, the setup I'm seeing ahead of the euro. I'll mention it to also right now. Then we'll look at the other technical analysis we have for this, specifically for this morning session. Now, for the euro, there are two setup I have. One for euro GBP, the other one for euro CHF. Now, if the data comes out good for the euro, now this is what I can see technically on the euro GBP. If I actually prepare this for my technical analysis setup, but then it will also go for the fundamental if the data goes in that direction. Now, for the euro GBP on the daily time frame, what has happened lately is that price, broke out above a support, a resistance zone. This is a resistance. Price broke out above resistance, returned to that resistance as a support. So technically, we should expect a continuation into the bullish direction, technically. Now, if we flip down to the 4-hour, we can clearly see that this is actually trying to form a double bottom pattern, which will help aid the bullish breakout. Now, the same thing is on 1 hour, it's still the same double bottom pattern seen on the 1 hour time frame. So technically, we're expecting a bullish breakout on euro GBP. We can still fine tune it a little further by having our trend line right there and the second one to give us a falling wedge pattern. So you can see that right from the daily to 4 hour to 1 hour, everything we're seeing on this instrument is just a bullish breakout. So technically we're bullish on euro GBP. Now the data from the eurozone is not a specific data where we say okay, I think it has actual greater than forecast, and okay, if actual, so let me flip back to the Forex Factory page again just briefly so that we can see this together. So the issue is the time. There is no allocated time, but then I'm back to Forex Factory. So it's an all-day event. The forecast is 0.1%. If the actual comes out greater than the forecast, which is what we are seeing on Euro GBP, then we can buy the Euro GBP. If actual comes out greater than the forecast, we can clearly buy the Euro GBP. All right, so the news measures change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. Perfect. So if the actual comes out greater than the forecast, we can buy Euro GBP comfortably because technically Euro GBP, is having a bullish setup. Now, however, on the other hand, if the news is going to come out bad for the euro, then we're going to be looking at selling the euro CHF. Now, I made mention of this euro CHF maybe once, probably yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which one now, but I know I've mentioned it. Now, this is euro CHF on the daily time frame. Price hit a previous resistance, the second time. That technically we should be looking for an opportunity to sell. Then we have a rising wedge or a rising channel, which is also indicative that if price breaks out downward, we're looking for an opportunity to sell again. Thirdly, the candle that closed this Euro CHF yesterday closed as a rejection candle on the daily time frame, even though it's not exactly on a resistance. But then since we have we have price trending up, in a series of higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher low. The next wave actually could be a higher high than a higher low. Ultimately, still a reversal we're looking out for. So it's still very much in line. And we can finally now switch over to the 4-hour time frame where we have a very, very clear looking head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, and a drop. Now, if the news comes out bad for the euro, then that will lead to the breakout of this instrument into the bearish direction. Now, still on this euro CHF, you can see here on 4-hour is still forming a smaller head and shoulder, which is still indicative of an opportunity to sell. Let's take it down to 1 hour. You see on 4-hour, on 1 hour. Okay, on 1 hour is not really too clear. It's clearer on that 4-hour. But either ways, from many angles, what we're seeing here, we're seeing an opportunity to possibly sell the euro CHF, all things being equal. So if the news comes out bad for the euro, then we'll see Euro CHF drop. Now there's a neckline region that price needs to break for us to trigger a sell. And if price breaks that neckline region and it breaks the lower trend line, then we're going to see a massive fall in Euro CHF. So for the news on the euro today, if it comes out good for the euro, we are buying the euro GBP, and if it comes out bad for the euro, we are selling the euro CHF. So I want us to take note. We have two perfect setup on these two instruments, and we can trade it in the direction of the outcome of the market. So that's my view for the euro news. Now for the CAD news that will be released later today in the afternoon by 2:30 p.m. This is my view. Now for the euro, for the New Zealand CAD, for the New Zealand CAD, yeah, I'm seeing a long term, possibly a long term buy. But before the long term buy, it's also possible we have a sell on New Zealand CAD. And why do I think that? Now, yesterday there was a sharp fundamental in the market that led to a spike across all the CAD pairs. You can see the candle of yesterday, they're forming a rejection candle at this support turned resistance, level over there. And if you flip down to the 4-hour, this is what we are seeing on 4-hour. Now, in a way, it's trying to look like a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and possibly a drop. Oh, sorry, I don't have my mouse. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, and a drop. That's my outlook for that. So if the data comes out good for the card, that will make the New Zealand card drop on the 4-hour. This is a swing setup. It will make it drop on the 4-hour. And if it's forming a head and shoulder, then this region here will be the neckline. That will be the neckline. So we have a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and a drop. Now you may be wondering that, oh, but what about all these shadows? Is this one no longer than the head? They are shadows, even though they are important, but let's just ignore them and focus on the main body of the candles. So I see it more as a head and shoulder. the news comes out good for the card, that will help us to trigger a sell on the New Zealand card. And the other one for the card I have is the GBP card. The GBP card. Now, for the GBP card, like I said yesterday, there was this underlying fundamental from Canada that led to a spike. You can check it on all charts. A lot of the card pairs just went up like that last night, and when you have such, it's also fact to the to potential for a reversal in the market. Because eventually virtually all of them closed as a rejection candle on the daily time frame, and that is a big indication of the possibility of a reversal. So this is GBP card on the daily time frame, and price closed on a resistance level. You can see here is a very confirmed resistance. All this area is a resistance level. Price closed there, and we can even still take it a little further to a more recent candle, which is this um, which is these two candles here, and it's still valid resistance. Anyhow you want to look at it, it's still a valid resistance there. So we switch over to 4 hour, and you can see that very sharp rejection candle, and we can take it a step further by drawing our rising wedge pattern or a rising channel pattern right here. Now, like I said, this is a swing setup just like the New Zealand card. It all depends on the impact of today's news. If the news is very powerful enough, we might see a drop. But if you don't see a perfect drop today, well, it will happen next week. That's swing. Today's Friday. We can't really guarantee 100% the movement, except the news is able to push it with all volatility. All right, so this is what I'm seeing here. You can see from the daily time frame down to 4 hour, what we're looking for is an opportunity to sell the GBP card. Now, if the news again comes out good for the card, that will lead to a bearish potential on the New Zealand card. However, if the news doesn't have any serious effect, then this is what will also happen. Then this will form a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and drop. That may be more of next week though, but that is what will likely happen if the news doesn't drop it today. So you're there, you're a swing trader, either you're trading the news or you want to trade the news. Anyone just looking for an opportunity to sell this GBP card and New Zealand card when all the condition is right. Please take note of that. When all the conditions for it, when it's right, you can look for an opportunity to sell it. And if you're trading it technically, it would be advisable to wait for a breakout below the neckline. But then if this setup works out as I'm saying, it's going to give some very massive movement in the market. At least can see entry is close to Fibonacci 38.2. Down to 50 is about 70 pips, and to 61 point Fibonacci 61.8 is about 150 pips. That's quite massive, you understand? So let's just watch out for it for those who are swing traders and those who might want to trade it for the news. All right, so that's it for both the news trading we have today. I said it, if the news comes out good for the euro, buy Euro GBP. If it comes out bad for the Euro, sell Euro CHF. If the news comes out good for the card, then sell the New Zealand card or sell the GBP card. All right, so now I go to the technical setup I have for today, and both of them are purely intraday setup. Now, the first is the AUD JPY, and this is AUD JPY on the daily time frame. Just a second. All right, so this is AUD JPY on the daily time frame. We can clearly see that price hit a support level last night and is trying to take a bounce into the bullish direction. That's on the daily time frame. We'll flip straight to 1 hour. and this is what we can see on 1 hour. Now you can see I've drawn a resistance there because price needs to break that resistance before we can have a further breakout. And if we take it a step further, we draw a trend line here, a second trend line at the back, and we can see. All right, so we can see right there we have a falling wedge. Now, price has clearly broken out, and should we take a buy? No, there's a minor resistance there, which I represented with the rectangle. Price needs to clearly break above that resistance. Now, if that resistance becomes strong and price cannot break it immediately, now this is what is going to happen. Price will retrace, possibly retest this trend line before breaking out upwards. Now, at that time, we will have ended up forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will now help the price to break out upwards better. So we need to wait clearly and see what happens. Either it's going to be a break now or a retracement before, and that will confirm the big move upwards. So either way it happens, I'm bullish on the AUD JPY as we await what happens in the market in the course of today. And finally, we'll look at the New Zealand JPY. It's having exactly the same setup as the AUD JPY. You know, these two currency pairs are always positively correlated. They go in the same direction. You can see there's a support on the daily time frame. Where we have a support here. We have, in fact, this one even is touching it 3 times. A third time, technically, we're looking at an opportunity to buy. And if you go straight to 1 hour time frame, you can see just like the New Zealand JPY, though this one is yet to break out, is yet to break out of the trend line, but we have a resistance here, and price is testing that resistance. So just like the New Zealand JPY, if price is unable to break that level, it will retrace, maybe form exactly the pattern we are having here as a bottom, sorry, as a inverse head and shoulder, then ultimately break out. And if it doesn't form that pattern, like I always say, we can't control it. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, no problem. What we're looking out for ultimately is a breakout above this minor resistance, and always confirm with your RSI clearly above 50, which has happened already. That has happened already. So we just need to wait and see whether we are going to have a retracement or not before we trigger a buy. So I'm bullish on both the AUD JPY, New Zealand JPY on 1 hour for today. And that's my technical setup for today. All right, I'll be taking questions now, and we'll round up the analysis session. Okay, Paul Obas is asking about gold. Gold made a new high yesterday. All right. So this is gold on the daily time frame. Sorry, 4 hour. This is daily. Now gold is trading around the resistance level on the daily time frame. All right, so we're having a rising wedge pattern up there. Now you can see that the last few candles shows a range. The price has been ranging because it's around a resistance level. Now, if that resistance level holds, if it holds, then we may be getting ready for a decline. That is at least some bearish movement in gold in the course of today, all things being equal, if that resistance level on the weekly time frame holds. I see there's been a range in the last few hours on gold. So this is what I can say. This is a range on 1 hour. This line, the blue line, is a weekly resistance. If you go down to the 15 minutes time frame, this is what we have on the 15 minutes. Two things can happen here. If price breaks out above this resistance, it will buy a little, but if it breaks out below, it will sell more. So you can look out for a more for a bearish breakout, or price may just continue moving here until it finally breaks out. But whenever there's a breakout, if it's upside, you can buy. But if you're buying upside, just do more scalping, maybe some 10, 15, 20 pips. But if it's breaking out downwards, that will give us more room for movement, just purely by trading the range breakouts. That's all I'm seeing here for now. So the person asking about gold, that's my view on gold. And I think there are a lot of people asking about gold, not just one person. But if you want to trade gold more and make money, I can recommend a copy trading system for you. You can reach out to me. You don't even need to watch your system. You just see your profit coming. You can monitor the trade if you want to. Very efficient. Reach out to me if you're interested. People are making a lot of money on our platform with our system. So reach out. I can guide you on how to get connected to it. Okay, Joshua Corey, summary of the news. Buy and sell, please. I said for the euro news, if the news comes out good for the euro, buy the euro GBP. If it comes out bad for the euro, sell the euro CHF. So that's the summary of the news for the euro. And it's an all-day event, so we don't know specifically the time when it's going to be released. For the other events, it's come up in the afternoon. But for the card, if the news comes out good for the card, we are selling the New Zealand card and the GBP card if it comes out good for the card. All right, Wisdom is asking about BTC. I gave us a bullish setup on BTC at the beginning of the week, and price did break out exactly in that direction. If you remember, maybe on Monday or so, I can't remember now. It's been a while. I said it that BTC was going to break out upwards, and that has happened already. And still on the same setup, This is my current position. The trend is still bullish, but then we need to wait for a clear entry, and that's if price is able to break out above this current resistance zone. That will push price forward. And for that to happen also, we might need to see a minor drop. Price might drop further here so that it forms an inverse head and shoulder, and that will give you the launch pad to break out further upwards. So I still maintain a bullish outlook on BTC, but then wait for price to break above that resistance on the 4 hour before you trigger your entry. And it's not mandatory you make your entry on 4 hour. You can always flip down to 15 minutes, for a much more refined entry, in line with your account size. So I still maintain my bullish outlook on BTC USD. USD JPY AUD USD. Chisom or okay, Chisom, please sir, I didn't understand anything you said. I just subscribed. Can you make it a little simplified? Wow, I'm sorry, there's no how I can make it simplified. From the way you speak, I believe you must be completely new to trading, and it's just very fine. One of the things we do at PU Prime is to give you the knowledge, is to empower you with the knowledge on how to trade the financial market. So, what I will advise you do, Chisom, is I don't know where you're based. If you're based in Abuja or Lagos, we're starting our comprehensive training, physical training, from next week Monday at both the Abuja office and the Lagos office. Now, this time around, we've made it a lot easier for many of us because some complain, oh, the timing, the duration, and all those things. So we've compressed it into 2 weeks. 3 days in a week: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday for next week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, upper week, and you are done with the program. As in 2 weeks, you will go from beginner to pro trader. Trust me, 2 weeks. Yes, just in 2 weeks, we're going to give you all the knowledge you need on how to trade the forex market. So I will encourage you to attend these physical sessions. If you're based in Abuja, it's actually okay. It's actually 2 days in Abuja. Pardon me, it's 2 days in Abuja for the week, and that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays in Abuja. It's Lagos office that is 3 days, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you live in Abuja and its environ, then please make your way to our office at Abuja. That's at Walk and Connect Building, 50 A B2 Ukiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. Time is at 10:30 a.m. Take note, time for Abuja office is 10:30 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you live in Lagos and its environ, then you can make your way to our Lagos office at Agos Executive Lounge at 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Time for Lagos office training is 11 a.m. and it's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Take note, not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays by 11 a.m. So there we will start from the foundational level because some of the things I'm saying, the reason why you're getting it, you're not really getting it is because it's a bit advanced. Now, many people on the platform, they've been with us for a while, they've attended our trainings, so it's a little bit clearer to them. But for new people, to be honest, it may be a bit technical. So do find your way to these two locations for physical training. Now, peradventure, you are not in Lagos, you are not in Abuja, then always join us on Mondays and Wednesdays. We do have online training sessions for all our clients, by 7 p.m. We've had two this week. We had one Monday this week and Wednesday. So join these sessions. The way this industry works, you need knowledge. You need knowledge to trade the market. So join our online sessions. And for everybody, don't forget today, Friday, we're having our crack the code trade stocks and commodities like a pro by 7 p.m. tonight. Make sure you join us. The links will be dropped in your WhatsApp group. So join us for this training session. So I think I've attended to Chisholm. So I'll take the other questions. Wasiu Shobande is asking about USDJPY and Joy is asking about AUD So let's look at USDJPY and AUD okay, before I talk about USDJPY, I want to quickly look at the dollar index so we get a clearer view of what is really happening to the dollar. All right, so this is the dollar index. Now there's a minor resistance level here on the daily time frame, which price seems to be price is just actually a bit quiet on the dollar index for now, but there's a minor resistance over there, and you can see it on the 4 hour, and that could lead to some bearish potential in the market in the course of today. That's what I'm seeing on the dollar index. So that takes me now to the USDC JPY rather. All right, so this is the USD JPY. Okay, now the overall trend on the USD JPY is actually bullish from what I'm saying. It's actually bullish. That's over. Now that doesn't mean it can't still reverse anyway. Because don't forget today is Friday. Friday trend is always against the major trend most of the time. That's how the market moves. So to be honest, this is technically looking bullish. So I will talk about what I'm seeing. It's technically bullish because it's found some support around here and here, and we're in an uptrend. All right. This is what I would say. If it's going to be a buy, you have to wait for price to break above this confluence region, above this upper trend line, if at all we're going to have a bullish dollar. I would say currently it's not clear. If you're having conflict in setup like that, it also indicates you need to be patient. Three things we do: we buy, we sell, and we wait. So if dollar index is saying possibly bearish, USDJPY is saying possibly bullish, the data is conflicting. So we need to be calm and really watch out for clarity on what to do. But like I said, if the overall trend is bullish, it does not mean you can buy now. You need to wait for price to break out above this region before you can buy. That means if price does not get to that level, you don't really look for an opportunity to buy. And if it decides to sell, well, you need to also wait for it to get to this support. Then if it gets to this support level, that can guarantee a better bullish movement. But for now, I would say to be on the safe side, stay out of the USD JPY for now. There is no clarity around it. Up until we have all this clarity, I'm saying it's just best to stay out. And I look at AUD USD from Joy Theophilus. AUD USD. Now, on the long term, this AED USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, New Zealand USD, they will likely buy on the long term. And I've given my view about some of these instruments, right from the beginning of the week. Now, here we have price retesting the trend line on the daily time frame. It's getting ready to make the move up. Please, when I draw this, my blue lines, I'm not saying that is where price is getting to deal. I'm just giving direction. So it's not a signal. So price has tested the trend line there on the daily, and it has found support there. This is 4 hour, this is 1 hour. All right, so on the 1 hour time frame. Hmm. Well, there's a dollar news. I think $1 or $2 event this afternoon. It will give us more clarity as to what will happen to this pair. But I know technically is supposed to buy. Let me put it that way. But I'm not finding support around it at the moment. So I will encourage that person to wait for the news. If the news comes out, uh, if it comes out bad for the dollar, if the news in the afternoon comes out bad for the dollar, then that will lead to the breakout in AUD USD. So I will encourage you to wait for the news. The news is what can give us the right direction as to what will happen to AUD USD today. So, and for any other dollar setup, that's my candid advice. I'm not seeing clarity on that setup. If I've seen it, that would have been part of my analysis, but I'm not really seeing. So let's not force what is not there. Elijah, can you share your contact to reach, please? Sure. My PU Prime official number is here. You can reach out to me. Just a second. But you can look through. There's no point. Look through the WhatsApp. I'm the one that shared the link for this analysis in the morning. You see my name there. I'm Rotimi Olawale. You can click there and have a chat with me. So That's far better. All right. Ekpe Ambassador, I'm based in Abuja. Is that where you are staying, sir? No, sir. I stay in Lagos and I train at the PU Prime Lagos office. Chisholm, I'm based in Owerri. Okay, if you're based in Owerri, then join us for the online session. That's what you can attend for now. Okay, Elijah. Okay, seems Elijah is really wanting to know more about this gold copy trading. So let me just share my contact. But please, strictly for official purpose. All right, so I'm going to share my contact here, and that's 070 2526 3604. 070 That's it there for any other person to that wants to reach out to me concerning the gold copy trading. My name is Rotimi Olawale. All right, so I think I've attended to all the questions. Let me run through again. I hope I'm not missing anybody's requests. Okay, wisdom, GBP USD. All right, so that will be the last I'll attend to. Yeah, it's still the same. All these dollar pairs, just long time they are going to buy from maybe next week, long time. But for now, I can't enter buy yet. It has not even entered my entry limit for a buy for the long term. The news today is what will determine. If the news comes out good for the dollar, if it comes out good for the dollar, it may drop further. So just wait for the news. It's the news today that will determine the direction for this dollar pairs, not the technicals. But then at the same time, don't forget today is end of month, so there is bound to be volatility in the market today. So please trade with proper risk management. The market always have this end of week, end of month move. The end of month move is always bigger than the end of week. It may go against you, so please trade with caution. Trade with caution. Make sure that your trade has a stop loss and don't take unnecessary risk with a high lot size. Use the recommended lot size for your account. Now, as regards the AED JPY and the New Zealand JPY, as it evolves in the market today, as it matures into a signal, we will surely update us in our group. Okay, so we will update in the funded group. That's for the funded clients. So you're there, you are not a part of the funded group. Well, it means you don't have funds in your account with PU Prime. So for you to get this updated signal and many other signals, we drop a lot of signals in the funded group, which you should not miss. Then make sure you have a funded account with PU Prime. Reach out to your account manager, to fund your account. You can reach out to me so I can guide you on how to make your funding so that you can be a part of the funded clients group. And finally, don't forget, next week Friday is our NFP for the month of February. NFP means non-farm payroll. It's the biggest news event in forex industry, and we trade it live at PU Prime. We had it last month. It was a blast. People made money. Same thing, CPI was equally a blast. And next week, Friday, is definitely going to be another blast. So make sure you have a funded account to be a part of that live trading session. All right, that'll be the end for my end for this morning session. Trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.